been a music copyist in New York for 30 years, and my friends know that I have a background in jazz composition. And the last 5 or 6 years, a couple of them were really after me to start writing again. So I thought, what would be my perfect ensemble to me? And I looked at things like Miles Davis' Birth of the Cool, the Gil Evans Orchestra. There's a Henry Mancini album called Mancini Combo. And I came up with an instrumentation that kind of was an amalgamation of those bands. I called my friends, they came to read some music, and a band was born. Well, my experience is a big band, and I studied big band composition, jazz composition, whatever you want to call it. My teacher at Manhattan School of Music was the great Manny Album, and he taught me to think outside the box. And I'm trying to take what I learned as a jazz arranger and apply it to rock tunes, although sometimes I throw some jazz tunes in there. And I've got a jazz band here, but they're not playing, they're playing rock tunes most of the time, some funk tunes, and I try and marry all those elements. Sometimes I'll start with a rock tune and go into a jazz tune and come out of it. It's kind of what I was feeling that day at the kitchen table with the pencil and paper. It started out, I was just taking songs and basically just coloring them in. And as time went by, I try to break them a little bit. I try and stretch them out, step on them, bend them, maybe bend them without breaking them. But sometimes people will tell me they're hearing a song and they don't really know what it is until about 2/3 of the way through, and then they realize what it is. And I find that kind of interesting and exciting. The repertoire is definitely loaded towards Grateful Dead, and maybe with some Grateful Dead adjacent material. We do a couple Little Feat tunes, we do a few Allman Brothers tunes, but again, those are all rock bands that improvise, or jazz bands that are playing rock. So we have a lot of that. I like to do some funky things. I did War Pigs on a dare. Over the last 30 to 35 years, I've probably been to hundreds of recording sessions, but I'm the guy that shows up with all the music and passes them out on the music stand. And I go sit in the booth or the lounge, and I wait to see if they need revisions. So I'm experienced in recording in that sense, and I've learned a lot about it over the years, but this is my first time recording music of my own in a recording studio. And the feeling is like partially dream come true, it's partially absolute terror, but there's a lot of joy in the room. I mean, this band is wonderful. I've practically tailored the charts for a lot of these musicians, and they seem to be happy to be here and enjoy it, and they're pushing me into this, and I love them for it.